Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, 9th sloka. In this sloka, Bhagavan explains how karma to be performed. Karma to be performed as yajna, that is sacrifice. When we do karma, we should do it without attachment. Otherwise, karmas create bondage. So when you do karmas, if you get attached to that, then it makes bondage. So you get attached to karmas. So when you do karma, you should not have the feeling of I am the doer. Then the next one, what you should have in your mind is, I should not expect any fruits of action, any results from the karma. Third one, I am offering all karmas to God. I am doing it in His name. So if you follow all this and do karma, you will not get attached to the karma. And whatever karma we do, even if it is bad karma, it will not be considered as sin. So here he explains that it should be like yajna, sacrifice. So what is sacrificed here? The thoughts like I am the doer. Then expectation from the fruit of actions. So they are given up. And you offer them to God. So that is another sacrifice. You are giving up the karma, whatever we do, to God. So this is what sacrifice, this is how karma is compared with yajna. In this sloka, Bhagavan says, O son of Kunti, do your prescribed duties. In the previous sloka, we have seen the prescribed duties given in Veda Shastra, Vedas. And what is not to be done. There is a list which says what are things not to be done. So the prescribed duties to be done. So do it. And those duties to be done without getting attached to results of action. And you are doing it for the satisfaction of God. So have this in your mind. So when we perform any work as sacrifice, we feel world belongs to God only. And use the things available on the earth for the service of God. This is how we should do karma. Nothing is ours. It has the ownership, it is not ownership, the material has been given to us for just for time being. God is the real owner. So we are using those resources, we are making service for God. So whatever we do, it is service to God. So this is how we should perform our karma. So there is a story. A king who belonged to the Raghuvamsa. He was making arrangements to do Vishwajit Yajna. And he conducted the Yajna and he invited all the people from the nook and corner of his kingdom, and he gave lots of its wealth as donation to the people, as charity to the people. And it is like clouds. The clouds, how they become dark and heavy and they are not able to float anymore. And what do? They drop all the waters down. So the water comes down as rain. So the cloud is completely out of water. So it drops everything. It doesn't hold anything. So the kings were also like that once upon a time. So they donated everything to the people. So this king also belonged to that category. He donated everything to the people. And at one point of time, he went without anything. That is, he did not have anything to have with him. So he begged to get a meal. And he was going around and he heard the people talking. And one of them said, the king was so generous and he donated everything. He gave it as charity to other people. Who else? No one can do like this. No one can give away everything to others. and it was his own wealth, and he gave out everything of his to others. So when the king heard this, the king went to that group and he told them, no, you are wrong. The king did not give anything of his own. Then the people said, no, how can you say that? He gave out only his wealth, only his property. Then the king said, no, nothing is ours. We came empty-handed when we came to the earth. We were born with empty-handed, and how can we claim that it is ours? Everything belonged to only God. So God gives to us just for distribution of resources to others. It is only for sharing with others. We are not the owners. So only God is the owner. So how can I say that I gave everything to it? So don't say that I gave all my wealth. The wealth belonged to only God. So the king had that kind of mind. So this is how we should also behave. So we should do our duty not for gratifying in mind and sense. It is only to please God. So whatever we do, even when we take flower to temple, we should have mind to say that God will look so grand, or God will be looking nice, He will be looking so beautiful with this kind of flower, that kind of, because when we choose flower, we see that the flower has got good fragrance because He likes it. So we don't buy the other flowers, the flowers which do not have fragrance. So why do we choose like that? Because we feel that God will be happy when He gets whatever He likes from His devotees. So this is so we are here to please the God by doing service to Him. So when we do service, we are doing karma and using the materials available on the earth created by God. So this is beautifully explained in Sloka 9. So He is the enjoyer. He is the supreme enjoyer of all activities. We should understand that. And we hear and chant His glories. He also says that when my devotees hear and chant my glory, I come closer to them. So the next sloka. In the next sloka, He explains